If I just go YouTube. All right. We might be cooking. I think we might be cooking. I can't see it. I can't see the stream on YouTube though. So something is still. There we go. Hey. Hey YouTube. Hey. Hey. Hey, we figured it out. uh yes. So, the problem was you cannot start Twitch before you start YouTube. You have to start YouTube first. Make sure YouTube is completely on, and then you can start Twitch. Because if you don't start it that way, then Twitch basically tells YouTube, you can't stream, only I can stream. And then, yeah. So, anyway. I'm glad we figured that out. First stream, first technical issue. You're not a real streamer unless you have technical issues. Like that's the breaking in part. You got to have some technical issues, and 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 then that's what makes you official. Um, so everybody, apologies if you're getting on. You got on at 9 p.m. and things were not working. This is the first stream. I did this before actually. I did a stream where I've tried to figure this thing out, and I had everything set up perfectly, and it still was set up perfectly except for the fact that the privacy on YouTube was apparently a thing, and I didn't know that. I don't know how it changed from private to public. I don't remember doing that. And you have to start YouTube first when you are multi-streaming. So anybody who's listening, if you ever hear me say, I don't know what the heck is going on. Oh, sound is off. Oh, hear me say, I don't know what the heck is going on. Okay. Oh, sound is off. Let me know if you can hear me. Hear me say, I don't know what the heck is going on. Okay. Oh, sound is off. Let me know if you can hear me. I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know what the heck is going on. I think I had the. I thought that was the sound. Sound is off. Let me know if you can hear me. I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know what the heck is going on. I think I had. I thought that was the sound. Sound is off. Let me know if you can. I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know. I had. I think I had difference. I thought that was the sound is off. Let me know if you can. I don't know if you can hear me. I had. I think I had on YouTube difference. I thought that was the sound is off. Let me know if you can. I don't know if you can hear me. I had. I think I had YouTube difference. I thought that was the sound is off. Let me know if you can. I don't know if you can hear me. I had. I think I had YouTube difference. I thought that was the sound is off. Let me know if you can. I don't know if you can hear me. I had. I think I had difference. I thought that was the sound is off. Let me know if you can. I don't know if you can hear me. I had. I think I had. I thought that was sound. Let me know if you can. I don't know if you say. I had. I think I had. I thought that was sound. Let me know if you can. I don't know if you say. I had. I think I had. I thought that was sound. Let me know if you can. I don't know if you say. I had. I think I had. I thought that was sound. Let me know if you can. I don't know if you say. I had. I think I had. I thought that was sound. Let me know if you. Okay. Ah, okay. So yeah, I think I was doing that right. It was muted. It was muted on YouTube, but then somebody said they couldn't hear it. So can we hear it on YouTube? Let's see. Can everybody hear me on YouTube? Awesome. All right. Okay. So yeah, I had it muted, and then somebody said they couldn't hear me, so then I unmuted it, and then yeah, it did that whole crazy thing. That's all right. Again, this is our first stream. This is what it's all about. Working out the kinks. All right. So there's like a whole 30-minute video that I streamed, and I don't even know if I don't know if it has sound. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know what's going on with I don't know if you can hear the video on that other one, but I did answer the first 3 questions. So if what I'll do is I'm not going to go back and redo those 3 questions, but if I go to that video and then you can't hear the audio on those videos, then I'll just record another video and then upload it with my answers to those so that you can have the answers to the first 3 questions. But I've already spent too much time trying to fix technical issues. So thanks for hanging in there while I figure out this whole streaming thing. This is why I need to get in my reps, you know. I need to stream more so that I can actually be good at it. So yeah, let's get to those questions. We're finally back to the content portion of this. I am using OBS. Is there something wrong with there's still something wrong with the sound? Oh, the voice is not syncing with the vid. Ah, okay. Yeah, I don't know how to fix that. Um, yeah, there's probably I'm probably gonna have to do a whole YouTube class after this uh, on streaming and try to figure out like how to fix certain issues. Uh, I don't know. I don't want to fix that live on the stream yet. So sorry folks on YouTube. I still have more to learn and I'll fix the the audio desync issues on a let's see. I got a Monday stream, so I'll try to have those fixed by Monday. But you can hear me. That's the most important part, is that you can hear me. So put your hands in the air if you can. Anyway, let's get back to those questions. So there was still some subscriber questions I had to answer, and I'll stay on a little longer, obviously, because we had those technical issues. So because I want to get through all of the issues. And yes, I am seated at the Phoenix bar, even though the Phoenix is no longer in my fleet. But that's temporary. That's very temporary. I never had one that was LTI, so for me, not having one was like, eh. I bought one in the pack, and then it was 6 months, and I didn't really care, but it was like I always wanted to own a constellation, and the only constellation that I want to own is the Phoenix. So it's not in the fleet anymore, but it might make a comeback if somehow I can put LTI on it. I know there's the whole pack thing where you get like a what is that? What's the space truck? It's consolidated outland thingy. Nomad. The Nomad. So the Nomad is the one that I wanted to you have to get the Nomad in order to, you know, upgrade. You got to get that, what is it, like 2948 or 2949 Nomad, and it somehow, when you upgrade a ship in the pack, then it upgrades the rest of the pack to LTI. But yeah, I don't want to do that. that was too much. It was too convoluted, and then I had to do stuff on the gray market, and everybody's charging like $120 for those or more, and I'm like, I don't need LTI that much. I'll just get rid of it, and if they offer it again, then I'll get it. Yeah, but I want the Phoenix, but I might end up with the Andromeda. Somebody just said it. Yeah, the Andromeda, the missiles on the Andromeda, I think might make that the one to have. I don't need it to come with anything. I mean, I'll buy like the P-72 and P-52 in game. I'll replace the P-52 with the P-72, and of course, I'll have an Ursa medevac. So even if it did come with an Ursa, I wouldn't use that anyway. So, yeah. Let's get to these questions though. Let's see. Subscriber questions. Your idea of a solo player's best fleet lineup. 6 or 7 vehicle cap. Oh, I gotta think about that. I think that's a video. I think I have to make a video on that one. So audio 4545. I did make a video of. I think I made a video that's like solo players best. I think it was like best solo players. No, best ships for solo players. I think that's what the video is called. But if I didn't, then I need to make that video. But that video is gonna have to wait till after CitizenCon because I have a bunch of ships that I haven't reviewed, and I'm trying to catch up. I think I have like 27 more ships to do, and I only have like 21 days or 20 days until CitizenCon. So, yeah, yeah. And on top of that, when engineering comes in, I see what you're saying, Tim. When engineering comes in, I'm gonna have to redo that whole list anyway. But I did want to get, and the reason I'm doing the ship reviews is multiple, right? Like I wanted to touch every ship. I wanted to say I've flown every ship in Star Citizen. There's a few that I still haven't touched, which are like the Mustang Omega. I just haven't met anybody who's had one. So I just had to talk to somebody who had one, and that was a whole thing. Had to get them to do stuff and tell me things. It was weird. And then like certain variations of certain ships, like I don't have the certain skins and stuff, but like obviously I don't have a Star Kitten Dragonfly. Like there's certain things that I just haven't touched, but for the most part, every type of ship I want to have touched every single one of them at least once. And I wanted to do it before CitizenCon because I feel like CitizenCon is going to be like my major. I feel like it's what's the I don't want to say coming out party. That feels weird to say, but I would say it's more like I've met a lot of YouTubers since I started, way more YouTubers than I anticipated, and now like going to CitizenCon, I know I'm going to meet a lot more. And I had this whole thing where I was going to make t-shirts and stuff like that, but I think I might like can that because I'm like, this is my first one. I just need to like figure out how they work before I start trying to do all this other stuff. But yes, if you follow the channel, at some point I will have like merchandise and stuff like that. And yeah, if you're at a certain level of membership and stuff, obviously you get discounts on that stuff. And Ray, if you're watching, that could be one of your perks is that you get either a larger discount or maybe you get one for free. Because I think the $100 a month, I think that's deserving of a free T-shirt. So there's an idea for you right there. Boom. I do still have some ships that I have to go back and do though. The Peregrine, the Ironclads. Technically, I kind of did I did like reviews on them already, kind of like going through them, but I never gave them a number. So if all else fails and I know I'm not gonna make all my reviews, I'll just like go back and be like, I give this one a 10, this one an 8, and this one a 7. that's my saving grace. So that, yes, debut Julian Kane, thank you. Yes, this is my debut. I mean, technically. So this channel is actually 2 years old. The channel is 2 years old, but I didn't make my first video. I made my first video as kind of just like, I just want to see how YouTube works, but I never actually intended to keep going. So I officially started this channel actually 3 years ago now. It was in 2021, but I actually started treating it like a serious channel on December 4th. And since December 4th, let's check this count because I know it's a lot. Let's see how many videos I have. I have 306 videos since December 4th. Let's see how many days has it been since December 4th. Hey Google, how many days has it been since December 4th? Oh, sorry, folks, if your thing just went crazy.
December 4th, 2023 was 299 days ago.
299 days, 306 videos. So more than a video every week. All right, Google, I've had enough. Okay, stop. All right, okay. You gotta be nice to your AI, but you still gotta let them know what's up. Um, so yes, I've accomplished one of my goals, which was to do a video for every day that I've been doing YouTube until CitizenCon. Um, and so yeah, it's a lot of videos. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it. I think launching a YouTube channel is not easy, and everybody I talked to was like, "Hey, it's not going to be easy, but just keep putting in the work." So that's what I did. All right. Next question. We gotta get back to these questions. If CIG finishes the Polaris, Perseus, Galaxy, and Zeus, how big will be the chance to see the Apollo and Arastra 2? I think we got a while before we see the Arastra, because I think what we're going to see before we see the Arastra is refinery gameplay. And I think they would finish the Expanse before they finish the Arastra, because I think we need both refinery gameplay to be consistent. And I think we need mining gameplay to be a little deeper before we get a massive ship like the Arastra that can do mining. So that's what I think of the Arastra. I think we won't see that until we see refinery gameplay, but I do think we'll see refinery gameplay next year. The Apollo, however, I would not be surprised if we at least saw work being done on the Apollo before the end of the year, because you cannot launch Star Citizen without having a solid medical gameplay loop. And right now our gameplay loops are not solid with medical. You need the what is it? What are the 4 classes of every MMO? You have the tank, the DPS, the controller, and the healer, right? Am I missing anything? If I'm missing something, you guys let me know which one I'm missing. But I'm pretty sure that's it. And we don't have our healer. We don't have a controller either. What would be a controller? I guess a controller in this scenario, like if you're in a ship, would be somebody with like distortion weapons, because they're like messing up your ship, messing up your ability to like. Oh yeah, Mantis. Yeah, I like that. Mantis is a good one, because they keep you from being able to leave and to jump out via quantum. Okay, yeah, I like that. But yeah, we don't have our healer yet. Yes, you can, go into a bed, and you can respawn and so on and so forth. But we need like active healing. We need somebody that can like come in, swoop you up, grab you, take you to a tier 1 bed and come in. And so I think I will say second to next, because I think the next major gameplay loop is going to be repair. And then I think after repair, I think we'll see some stuff about medical. I wouldn't be surprised if at CitizenCon we see some stuff about medical, because we need the medical gameplay loop. I don't think you can have an MMO without the medical gameplay loop. The Polaris, I think they will finish on time. The Perseus, I think I don't know about the Perseus, but I feel like with all the work they've done on the Polaris, I would love for them to like stealth release the Perseus. Like, oh, you didn't know? By the way, we've been working on the Perseus and it's almost done and it's going to be here by the time Christmas hits. Like, that would be awesome if they got it like before the end of the year. And the Zeus we already know is coming. But I'm more excited for the Galaxy than I am for the Perseus, just to be clear, because the Galaxy, I don't know how big it's going to be, how good it's going to be on fuel, and what the internal, full internal layout is going to be. But I think the Galaxy is going to end up being one of my favorite ships. So I'm super looking forward to the Galaxy. But I realize the more and more that I talk about RSI, the more I think that RSI is becoming my favorite ship manufacturer. I did a video where I talked about my favorite ship manufacturers, but now that I've reviewed more ships since then, I don't know. We'll see. I have to review all the Origin ships. Once I'm done with the ships, then I could officially be like, okay, I could literally put it down to a number based on how many tins each one has, how many tins each manufacturer has, like how many ships in that manufacturer I've given a tin to, and then I can go, okay, that's like, that's 1 point in your hat, and then like, what's the average of all the ships out of all the ships you've created? Like, what's the average score that I've given your ships? And then from there I could go like, how many of my favorite ships do you have and stuff like that. I have like this whole thing in my head of like how I'm gonna get down to like my favorite ship manufacturer, and then I say I have a lot of favorite ships, and I do, because most of the time if I'm willing to spend money on a ship, it's gonna be on my list of favorites. And that's part of why you're willing to spend money on these ships, right? It's because you're like, oh, this is like an amazing thing, and I want to own it regardless of like what's going on with the game. Um, Artemis TGM, thank you. I appreciate you watching. I know everybody is like a huge fan of the ship reviews. I kind of slowed down on them for a long, long time because I was trying to, diversify my content. But now it's gonna be nothing but ship reviews until I'm done with those ship reviews. So no Star Citizen nightlies, none of that stuff, unless I get like super ahead. But I don't think that's gonna happen because I have a lot of planning to do before CitizenCon, and I'm doing these streams now, which are working, except my voice is desynced, and I know that. But we will work on that. We will fix it. But yeah, let's get back to the questions. Do you think the MPUV tractor is better than the Atlas? Yes and no. I think the MPUV tractor will end up being better, but I don't think it currently is better. Because I think the MPUV tractor, obviously having 2 tractor beams is going to be better, because anything with 2 tractor beams is going to be better than anything with 1, unless it can't hold certain stuff. But I think that's going to come through in balancing. But the MPUV needs some work, I think, because I think right now the Atlas just physically works better as far as like its capability. But I don't think that'll stay. Let's see. What else we got? Damon Donaldson says, I'm invested in the Polaris pretty heavily, and I'm hoping it gets released this year, even if engineering isn't a part of it yet. Plus, I'm still waiting for homestead building, you and me both. That with capital ships and some real gameplay economics would take this game over the top. How much of that info can we expect? I think the homestead thing is going to be huge. I think that's going to be a huge part of this. Now, it was weird to me because I know that was Todd Pappy's thing. Like, that was like his big thing that he was working on. So with him leaving the company, I'm sure like it didn't like destroy the chances of it or anything. But I do think that probably set it back a little bit, just because of the institutional knowledge thing. Like when a big piece of the company leaves, you just lose a little bit of institutional knowledge, and you got to regain that. That's why like when a certain amount of people left, the Banu Merchantmen kind of got pushed back a lot, because it was like we have so many people that left that were working on that, and that kind of had the like intelligence to know like what was supposed to come next, and so on and so forth. So I think what we're gonna see is I think we're gonna get some I think we're gonna learn what outposts, like what it's actually like to build a base. So last year we kind of had this like teaser about it, and I think this year we'll actually see like what the software is. Like, this is what it's like to build a base, and maybe it'll be tier 0 or anything or something like that. But I do think it'll be like, oh, you're this is the way this ship is gonna work, or this ship is gonna work. So maybe it would make more sense for the Galaxy actually to be the surprise ship than the Perseus, because then the Galaxy could be showing like, this is how we're going to build a base, and the Galaxy is going to be the first one to do it, since they're already working on RSI ships. I think that would make sense. So we'll see. I think the Polaris will be on time though. I'm hoping for a Tony Z presentation. Tony Z is the reason I got into the game, and then he disappeared. It's like I feel baited and switched, or switched and baited. They baited me and then they switched. Whatever, however you say it. But yeah, I saw Tony Z's presentation, and I was like, that is what I want out of an MMO. Give me that. And then he came back like once. He came back in like what was it, 2021, he came back and did like a full thing on it, and then we just haven't seen him in 3 years. So I'm hoping for a Tony Z presentation. That's my number one thing that I'm hoping for. Well, it's my number three. My number one is Squadron 42 release date. My number two is I want Mark Hamill to be there because I need to meet at least one of these people. I was hoping to meet uh, James Earl Jones, but sadly he passed away, so I won't get to meet him. He's one of my favorites of all time. Two of my favorite movies: Lion King, Star Wars. Both his voices. Actually, three of my favorite movies: Sandlot. Come on, come on, man. So but I gave him his flowers. I feel like I've talked about how awesome he was before he passed. I'm sure he saw my Facebook post 12 years ago that I made about him. I'm 100% sure he saw that. But yeah, I'm hoping Mark Hamill is there for at least the announcement, and then I can get a picture or something, or at least meet him. I think that would be cool. I got to meet one of my sci-fi heroes. All right, let's go to the next question. What are your thoughts on master modes and CIG's current direction with the flight model? Did you prefer any previous versions of the flight model? Hold on one second. Okay. Master modes is a touchy subject. So I think master modes will end up being better than the previous system, but I do not currently think it is better than the previous system. I think the reason master modes is not better is because I think they released it too early, and I don't think they allowed enough player input to have released it already. But I also think they didn't have a choice but to release it because they needed to get data on it. And I think because they needed to get data on it, they released it too early, and that's why people are struggling with it. My biggest problem with master modes is the fact that they're not listening to the people who play the game the most when it comes to what should they do with master modes. It's like they already had this system in mind, and they were like, we're going to put this system in place regardless of what anybody says because this is what we want to do. And to a degree that makes sense because it's your game. Like it's Chris Roberts' game at the end of the day, so he should be able to do whatever he wants to do. It's his game. But at the same time, you want people to purchase this game, right? Like you've already made 700 and however many million dollars, right? But you got to pay people with that, so like if you want this game to go on, you could be in the billions easy, multiple billions if this game comes out right. So I just think they need to listen to people who play the game and are saying like this is what makes it fun. Listen to them a bit, and then listen to the people who are like super like I want this to be like a flight sim. Listen to them and listen to them. And if you take good notes from both of those groups, the people who are talking about what makes it fun and the people who are talking about what makes it closer to a flight sim, and then you kind of merge that, you take it to a flight sim and bring it back to the point of fun, I think you'll be good. But I just think master modes just needs some time, and time is the one thing that gamers don't want to give it. Like people don't want to give master modes time to be great. They just want to be like, and I'm like, I get that because right now it sucks to play with master modes. But this game is all about the future. If you're playing Star Citizen, you have to believe that the future of Star Citizen is what it's about, not the current. And at the same time, hold CIG's feet to the fire. Tell them, hey, we're not gonna take it. All right. Next, somebody said, "What is love, baby? Don't hurt me, no more." All right, that wasn't a real question. but it counts. All right. Last question on here, and then I will take questions from the chat if you have any. Or I will go back and kind of do a quick version of my answers to those other questions. So make sure you ask questions in the chat. We'll do the thing that what do they do in info runners? They do the thing where you if you have a question, put question and then put question first, like write the word question and then put whatever your question is. I don't have a bot though, so I just gotta find it. All right, so let's see. How do you feel about upcoming capital ships like Polaris with bed logging only working for the ship's owner? Is that a thing? I didn't read about that. Bed logging only works for. Then what's the point of all the rest of the beds? I feel like the point every ship would only have one bed if that was the case. So I don't think that's gonna be like the thing. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't look like. I don't think that's the way it's gonna work because the beds all have to. The beds need a purpose, right? And even if the purpose changes, and now all you can do is respawn in medical beds or something, and then the actual beds are used to like rest up your character or something. Like either way, all the beds have to have a purpose. I feel like this really limits how capital ships work. So did somebody mention it? Where did this come from? Yeah, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard the whole only bed logging will only work for the ship's owner. I don't think that's the way that's going to work. I think the way it will work is if the owner logs out. I think if the owner logs out, the ship will eventually log out. But I don't know exactly how that's going to work. But they haven't talked about it enough to say anything for sure anyway. I think they mentioned it, but they also seemed kind of wonky on it every time they mentioned it. So, yeah, I wouldn't lean too heavily into like what the bed logging is going to be. I still think they're gonna figure some stuff out with that. They are really pushing for fully crewed ships. What type of solutions do I think would work? Well, I don't think they're gonna do that. I don't think they're gonna do the bed logging thing. I think what's gonna end up happening is owner logs out, the rest of the ship stays, but they'll get like a message that's saying this ship is going to desync in 10 minutes or something, and then everybody has a choice to make. Like, am I gonna get off of this ship and then like hop on my own ship and fly away, or am I going to stay where I am and then desync with the ship, and then like I can't access my character until that ship is back, or I have to Agent Smith into another body, whatever. But I think it's gonna be something like that. There's gonna be like a countdown timer because I know when you log out, your ship will still be there for a certain amount of time. So, all right, that is it. Do we have any questions? Let's see. What's up? What's up? Meat salad, Ray, Ubo. Is that how I say it? Am I saying that right? 10, John, SC, Walker Barbin, Bears. What's up? D14 Lone Star, see you in there. Okay, so I have something that just says heavy fighter. The Guardian? Am I hyped for the Mirai Guardian? I have no idea. Heavy fighters used to excite me, and now I have an F8C. So like, I don't know if any heavy fighter will excite me ever again. Because once you get the F8C, I feel like that's it. Like I don't. What else do I need? Now maybe it'll be great in a different way, but I feel like the heavy fighter wars are kind of fixed for now until we get something that can like kind of rival that F8C, or something that's very good at something very specific, because heavy fighters are kind of meh right now. But we also need some work on master modes and stuff to get that squared away, because right now, if you don't really fly an interceptor, if you're not flying like a very fast maneuverable ship, chances are you're going to get cooked anyway. And multi-role fighting in large ships is non-existent. Like for instance, like if you right now, if you get a hammerhead, which is meant to fight, like it's an anti-fighter ship, it should be able to cook everything, right? And then you get some solid pilots in like 4 or 5 auroras, they could actually they could take you out. And that's not the way the game is supposed to be. Auroras aren't supposed to be able to take you out. So yeah. So if the I'm excited for Mirai because I like Mirai as a manufacturer. But technically Misk created the Razor, not Mirai. But you know, I guess you could say the Mirai people, when they were at Misk, created it. So but yeah, I want to see what it looks like. I want to see what it does. I can't say I'm excited for it, but I can be. If you've seen enough of my videos, you know it doesn't take a lot. I'm not difficult to excite. I feel like I shouldn't have said that sentence. Um before your questions, oh no, never mind. That's just Ray letting everybody know what's going on. Did you get the Zeus, and if you did, what variation did you buy? I did have the Zeus. I no longer have the Zeus because I don't need it. For my fleet, I don't need it. But if the variation I had was the CL, because I think that ship is going to be like the sweet spot for cargo, like the amount of cargo it carries, the how small it is. However, my problem with the CL now is that it can't carry an Ursa, and now having an Ursa medevac became super important. So now I'm less excited for the CL, but I still think it'll be a great ship. I think because it can't carry that, I don't know if it would have stayed in my fleet because it can't carry that. So I think I'm more likely to say the Freelancer Max right now would be like, I would probably prefer the Freelancer Max because it can carry that. Now the Freelancer Max is old and it has that mail slot, but again, the smallest ship that can carry an Ursa medevac. I mean, I'm not gonna fight in the Freelancer Max the same way I wouldn't fight in the CL. So I just need the Freelancer to be operational to get my Ursa medevac wherever I need it to go. So right now it's the Freelancer Max over the Zeus right now, but we haven't confirmed that it won't be able to fit the Ursa in there until it's in game. We don't know. So we got some questions here. Let's see what else we got. What should be the target savings percentage for CCU chains? 30%. 30%. I would actually say 33% if you can pull it off. 33% is like a third, you know, well, 33.3333 forever, right? But 33% would be perfect. Getting 33% off. Most of my ships I got 33% off or more. I actually recently melted all the ones that I don't have 33% off on so that I can try to get that going. I would say 25%. I would say 20% is the lowest acceptable number. If you get 20% off, I think that's the lowest acceptable number, but it's not what you should strive for. I think 25% is good. It's good enough. Like if you got 25% off in your CCU chains, I think that's pretty good. Like I don't think you should be melting anything to restart. And I think 33% is the goal, right? But 30% is good enough. 30% is like, if I can get that 3%, great. But if I can't, whatever. But 33% I think should be everybody's goal as far as savings on CCU chains. Also, if you don't know what a CCU chain is, and you don't know what LTI tokens and all that stuff are, then go and check out my CCU guide. I did a video on it. I think it's pretty solid, but you have to be the judge of that. And let me know if it's missing anything. Leave some comments, and then I'll go in and make a new one if I have to. All right, let's see. Are you going to SitCon? Yes, I am going to CitizenCon. I will be there with bells on. Well, not with physical bells on, but like the bells are up here. If you know, you know. More cowbell. Yes, I will be at CitizenCon. I will be. I think I arrived there on either the 16th or the 17th. I can't remember. I have my flight information literally right here. The 17th. I get there on the 17th. So I get there a little bit. I get there in the morning. So I should have some time to walk around Manchester and see the sights. But I also have a lot of prep work to do because I do plan on filming at CitizenCon. If all my gear fails me, I actually bought a new camera and I'm gonna learn how to use it in 20 days. And if I learn how to use it and I feel comfortable with it, then I will take it to CitizenCon and you guys will get some amazing, incredible footage. If I don't learn how to use it in 20 days because I have so many ship reviews to do, you guys are gonna get this. You guys are gonna get some cell phone footage. Yeah, but I did buy a gimbal for my cell phone, so at least it'll be smooth, buttery cell phone footage. But either way, after CitizenCon, all this video setup, you see how all this is like, my green screen is like, it's good, and then it flickers on and off a little bit. All this stuff will be better after CitizenCon because I will have a legitimate camera to actually, you guys will be looking at me through a legitimate camera. Right now I'm using, what is it, the Brio, I think it's the Logitech Brio. And I've been using this since I started. I always said until I got to like 5,000 subscribers, I wasn't gonna do like anything crazy as far as money. But then I bought like a Stream Deck. I bought, what else do I got? I got a Stream Deck. I bought this thing, a Rode Pod mic. I got, what else? I bought so much stuff that I got like a ring light. Yeah, I totally didn't spend money. But yeah, that stuff was always supposed to be, it was supposed to be like once I became like a legit YouTuber, I'm not, but I don't do YouTube to like get as many subscribers as possible. I like that because it means I can like do more things for the game. It means I can afford to buy equipment and stuff, like, but I like to reinvest that money back into you guys, like, getting ships. I can't wait till I can give away like an A2 or like, hell, like I can't wait till I can give away a javelin. Like I'm more excited about being able to give away a javelin than actually flying one. Like, that's how excited I am for that. So like, that's the type of stuff where I'm like, the more the channel grows, I can do stuff like that. Like, I want to do stuff that nobody else is doing. I actually have a bunch of codes and stuff to give away for like 3 months of like Google One and stuff like that. So watch my live streams, obviously, from now until CitizenCon, but also pay attention at CitizenCon because I think I'm gonna like flash them up on the screen for some of my videos, or I'll just put them in the chat and be like, the first person to use this code can get it. I feel like I would be like, if I was like a super rich person, I would be Mr. Beast, except I wouldn't make people like play games for the money. I think I would just like give people stuff and then like say, all you gotta do is let me film your reaction. Like, I just want to see what it's like when I give you stuff. Like, here's $1 million. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. I'm way off topic. But that's why you stream, so you can get off topic. All right, I'm looking for question marks. I am going to CitizenCon. I already answered that one. You're about to jump from Vega to Vandal controlled Virgil on a solo recon mission. What ship would you take? An Idris. To Vandal controlled Virgil, I'm taking an Idris. I mean, you could take a Polaris probably, but I don't think I would trust anything smaller than an Idris. Now, if I'm taking a solo ship, I'm trying to be stealthy, so I'm probably gonna take the Saber Firebird because, and in a Saber Firebird, I think is underrated, folks, because missiles suck now, and I think that's why people are like, it's whatever. But it's an extremely fast ship. It's got guns on it, and it's got that. It can shoot a lot of missiles at the same time. Like its missile payload is crazy. So when missiles are back to being good, I think that ship is going to be great. But yes, I would take that ship if, as long as I knew I didn't need to bring any cargo back or anything. But if I did need to bring cargo, I'm probably, as far as concept ships, I would probably take the Raylan because that's supposed to be a blockade runner. Outside of that, I'd probably take the MSR just because I need speed. And if I needed anything bigger, I'd probably take the Carrack. But yeah, let's see what else we got. People saying they still like the Vanguard Warden. I respect that. Like, I don't. When I say the FHC is amazing, I'm really saying like it's just balanced to be amazing. I think when it's all said and done, the FHC should be in the top tier, but it may not necessarily be the best for everybody's playstyle. Like the FHC should probably be like the Corsair of the group, like where it's got all the guns, and if you get in front of it, you die, but it like turns slow, you know. But it's fast in a straight line, but it turns super slow, you know. And you know, every ship should have its weakness, and it's like meta, where it's like, if you know what the weaknesses are of that ship, you can better fight that ship. Like if I know that the FHC is fast in a straight line, but turns like crap, then I'm gonna probably get like a smaller ship that's great on maneuverability and straight line speed. But I'm also going to need that ship to be tough because I'm probably going to get shot a few times. But I need that maneuverability so I can just whip around the back of the F8C and destroy it from the back. Whereas the Warden might be more maneuverable, but crap in a straight line, you know? And so I think they all will have their meta. I just think the F8C will have like, you know, if like there's 3 categories and you can get 10, 10, and 10, and that's the max score in every category, I think when you add all the numbers up, the F8C will have the highest score overall, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the best fighter. So like, you know, it might have a 9 in one category, then a 7, and then a 9, whereas another ship has, you know, an 8, a 8, and a 7, but that other ship is better. So that's how I think it'll end up being. Let's see. Walker Barbin, what's going on, buddy? But question, what are your opinions on the land claims in secure systems? Will you be getting one for a safer trade base or home base? I will be starting in secure systems. I'm not going to give you my whole plan. Or maybe I might. I don't care. I don't care. People don't remember things that I say. That's kind of self-important of yourself, right? To say like, oh, I'm going to tell you my secret plan. And people are going to like write it down. And they're going to be like, ah. Because it might even be smart. You guys might hear my plan and be like, that's dumb. Why would you do that? So anyway, I think my plan is I'm going to start in secure systems, build up enough to where I'm making a decent amount of money in the secure systems, and that money is like my safe money. So like, let's say I'm pulling in like 5 million a day. Just throwing numbers out there. I don't know what the value of the UEC will actually be. But let's say I'm making 5 million a day, right? And I might be like, that's not enough to really start another outpost. So let's say I need 10 million a day to start an outpost. I would keep building up in the safe system until I got 10 million a day. So then when I'm making 10 million Alpha UEC a day, 5 million of that will be to subsidize my whatever I'm doing in a medium security system. So then I move to the medium security, and then I get that up to where it's making 10 million a day. And then 5 million of that will be to secure a something, or probably 7 million, because I'll probably need to pay more. So it'll probably be 7 million to secure the medium, and then probably 10 million to secure the low security systems. So like when I create bases in a low security system, I'll probably need to make an extra 10 million just to like secure that and make sure it's solid. And then I'll have a system where I have trade routes between each one of the bases that I create, so that I know that they have the basics that they need. And then each one of those will have like its own specific thing that it's great at, right? So I'll have one base that's for mining, one base that's like great for doing salvage work. One base is great for refinery. One base for farming. One for science, so on and so forth. And then they'll all be talking to each other. And so I'll basically create my own city, but it'll be spread out throughout the universe, and I'll have everything talking to each other. So that's like a small version of it. I probably could write a book about all my plans in Star Citizen. But yeah, I'll start off in the safer systems, and then move slowly towards the less secure ones. Once I have like money that's consistently coming in, and once I have like a group of people that I know I can play with consistently, which I kind of have a few people that have like kind of volunteered for that, but I have to see it in game, and it has to be consistent. A lot of people play more than I do right now because I just have too much to do. But yeah, and you know, AI blades and NPCs will be a part of that too. Debating getting the F8C to put in buyback. The ship itself doesn't really interest me, unless the F8A comes. Now, I am a fan of waiting on fighters, because it depends on how much money you like. How close are you to earning one? Like, if you're close to 10,000, you know, then just wait and get one for free. But I wouldn't purchase the F8C with cash, even though I think it's awesome. I wouldn't purchase it with cash. I just think you're gonna get one for playing Star Citizen anywhere, for playing Squadron 42 and completing it anyway. So I wouldn't buy one. I think it's awesome, and I get why people buy it, but I just wouldn't buy one because there's other opportunities to get it. But yeah, melting it into your buyback is always an option. You know, if you're gonna put 300 into the game anyway, you can melt it into your buyback, and if you change your mind, you know, the price is gonna go up on it. I know it seems crazy to say that on a ship that's $300, but the price is gonna go up on that thing, because the price is gonna go up on everything. I'm also hoping that at CitizenCon they start to talk a little bit more about better concierge rewards, because although I don't particularly care about the concierge rewards, I do like what we have. I do think that you're not like, nobody is saying, you know what, I want to spend $10,000 on the game to get this for free or that for free, right? I think people are like, well, I like this ship, I like this ship, I like this ship, and then eventually they look up and they're like, oh, it's $10,000. I think they could genuinely get people to aim towards these concierge levels if they made the concierge levels better. It's just better marketing. It's better, you know, just a better thing for them to do with the game, I think, in general. Let's see what else we got. I do not have a gold ticket. Oh no, you're asking me, Salad. I don't have a gold ticket. I tried to give them away. I actually dropped one. I recorded myself dropping one. It was so stupid. I dropped it and then it just disappeared. Oh wait, we got some questions over here too. Let me try to catch up over here, and then I'll jump back over here. All right, let's see. What do we got? My fleet is all LTI, but not all that great. Hey, if it's all LTI, it doesn't have to be all that great, because it's all LTI. So you can upgrade and make it great. 3 ads. Hey, I have monetization on this, but I'm not controlling the ads, so that's crazy. It is a long stream though. I've been streaming for an hour, and then there was 30 minutes that I don't even know if you could hear before this. So, yeah. 33 people on YouTube, only 13 thumbs up. You know, I don't do this for the thumbs up, but hey, if you guys want to do a thumbs up raid, like, go and like the video, that helps, you know. Let's see what else we got. What camera model? It's gonna be a Canon R5C with a 35 millimeter f1.4 aperture L lens. I think I said that right. I think I said it right. But I know it's a prime lens. And it's the one with the motor in it, so like it can shoot, the buttery smooth video. I kind of went all out on it. One of the things I like to do is like I don't like to buy things that are, um, I don't like to buy things that are cheap and then have to sell them and then buy things that are expensive. I'd like to just start out with the good stuff, so I just save my money up, get the good stuff in the beginning. Um, but like so like the stuff that I started with, right? Like the Rode mic, this mic is awesome. That'll last me for a while. I don't even use the Stream Deck, which I should. That's probably why I'm having all these issues. um, but I bought it. I bought the 32 button one, and like no idea what I'm going to use it for. I got these amazing headphones. Like at some point I'll do like a setup tour, but like my office space is just crap. It's just trash right now. So like I'll at some point though I'll make it look all nice, and then I'll just walk you all around and be like, oh, look at all this cool stuff I bought. But not right now. But yes, the Canon R5C is the camera that I will be using. Oh, look at that, 31 likes. Oh, appreciate you. Look at that. Asking ye shall receive. Sorry about the ads though. The Fed of the Void. I you know, I guess we got to make money. What else we got? That's my fear about the Polaris. Its biggest unique selling point has to be that the torps have to be balanced on a knife's edge. Yeah. Um, I think the Polaris torps should just destroy whatever they touch, and they should move super slow so that if they touch you, it's your fault. Um, let's see what else we got. The Kraken's Bridge. You're waiting for me to turn my background into the Kraken's Bridge. Do we have a picture? Do we know what the Kraken's Bridge looks like? There's probably a picture of that. If there is, I haven't seen it. But, I like this background because it looks like I'm actually, like, this looks like a place I would actually hang out and answer questions, at a bar or something. I don't know. Plus Bar Citizen and all that, And then they made this. I can't wait to tour the studio. I don't know if we actually will get to tour the studio. I don't know how they're going to select who can tour the studio. But I want a studio tour. And I need pictures of this thing. Because that's what I want my background. I'm going to get like 100 pictures of this setup that they have, and then I'm going to try to make it my background. So, anyway, that was completely off topic. How are you feeling about the Zeuses? The CL can't fit a Ursa, which bothers me. The ES seems like it's going to be a great like everyday drive, like a great daily driver. And the ES, I have no idea because they're taking forever on that. My favorite armor, undersuit, the queerness. Undersuit, I don't really have a favorite undersuit. Maybe the stone skin, I guess. Clothes to wear in the verse. If I don't really have favorite clothes yet, but it's probably gonna be that what is that suit that they came out with for like hazmat? The one, that yellow one with the stripes on it. I'll probably rock that without the helmet. Cause it looks crazy. It looks kind of cyberpunk in a way. So I think I might rock that without the helmet. I thought that looked cool. Yeah, that hazmat suit. Like, yeah, just running around with a hazmat suit on is like hazmat drip. Wait, that's probably not good. You don't want your hazmat to drip. When base building comes, will you be buying into that like you do ships, or is it not a big focus? Oh, that's one of my biggest focuses. My fleet is centered around science and base building. Those are my two primary functions in life once the game comes out. If I'm not doing science, I need to be base building, or I need to be doing something that's going to help me do one of those two things. So, yes, I will be buying into that. As far as putting money into it, like actual money, I don't know about that. Oh, the focus is messing up on this thing. Are we good? I think we're good. I don't know if I'll put actual money into the game in other ways. Maybe for like if they resell land claims or something again, maybe. But I still don't know how land claims are going to work. I have a land claim because I have a Pioneer. If you buy a Pioneer, you get a land claim. So in that way, I'm cool. Like, I just wish my Pioneer had LTI because that's trash that it doesn't have LTI. Um, Maybe once they upgrade them to $1,000, you'll be able to upgrade. Like, you'll be able to like buy LTI if you pay the extra, $200 or whatever. Which I don't think I would do that. But we'll see. But yes, I don't think I'll put much more money into the game. I think 10K into the game is enough. However, I think the money I do end up putting into the game will be like to buy ships for you guys, obviously. CIG did start giving me stuff, but like I'm always gonna if it's unless it's like something brand new, I'm probably gonna upgrade anything they give me. So I'll always be putting my money into the ships. So like, let's say they were to give me like a Mercury Star Runner, right? Either I would give away the Mercury Star Runner with like 4 skins, and well, 4 skins. I am a child. Anyway, I would give it away with 5 skins, and and then I would like add something else to it, like a suit or something, or I would upgrade it to something else, and then sell that because I only want to give away like cool ships. Like if they gave me, I mean, no hate on the 100i, but like if they gave me a 100i, I don't really want to give away a 100i, so I would upgrade it to something that I think the community would actually like, and then I would give that away. Unless it just, it's already an amazing ship. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna switch. I have some questions over here. I don't want to like overly focus on I don't want to overly focus on YouTube over here. I want to make sure I'm giving both. Um, Unless this is both. Is this both? What are your current targets? Targets for, oh, you said, I didn't realize you were so close to 5K. Oh, crap. Did I hit 5K? That's probably something I shouldn't check live, but I am going to check live. 5K is kind of a big deal. Yeah, I only need 4 subscribers for 5K. So if you know 4 people, tell them to hop along to Billionaire Ninjas. What are my targets? I don't know if you're talking about subscribers, because that was what your previous thing said. But I don't really have targets as far as like an amount of subscribers. I think I would like my target, my main target is I would like to do YouTube full time. And that is a very, very far away thing for me. Because the amount of money I'd have to make for YouTube to quit my job, it would be a lot. I'd probably have to double what I make at my job in order for me to quit my job. And even then, I'd probably just keep my job for a while because I really like my job. If you didn't know, I am I teach at a university. I'll say that. And I'm currently on leave. If you're wondering how I had time to make 300 videos, I had a tiny one. I had a tiny one, and then the tiny one, they give you a certain amount of time off if you work at certain jobs, and I had a lot of time off and to take care of the tiny one, but the tiny one sleeps for a very long time, which allows me to make YouTube content. Let's see what else we got. I'm staying on longer, folks. I was only supposed to stay on for an hour, but because of the issues with the stream in the beginning, I'm just gonna answer questions until I get tired. Let's see. I think these are some of the same questions. Okay, so I can go back over here then. Let's see. Right now, the game feels like a series of interesting but random elements. What do you see the gameplay going? Where do I see the gameplay going in the future? I think it's always going to be like that. I think you're going to have people who are in their element. Like, you're going to have certain people who are like, I'm only in this game to salvage and repair, and then that's it. Like that, those are the only 2 things that they're ever going to do, and they're just going to stay in that lane. But I think everything will connect in a certain way, right? So like we already know salvage and repair connects. That's why I stated that, right? Like salvage stuff can be used to repair ships. But maybe refined, like once you get salvage material refined, then it can repair ships even better or back to their original form, you know. But maybe raw RMC is like this can it can patch up a ship, but it's not going to be durable or anything. But if you get it refined, then like, oh yeah, now it's gonna be great. And then it's like when you repair a ship, where are you going to get your fuses from and stuff like that? Yes, you can buy them, but like, what if I have a science ship? Maybe I should be able to, you know, or a construction ship. I should be able to craft fuses and sell them to people, and then the people can buy the fuses and then put them into ships, right? And so on and so forth. Like I think every system will connect, and it may not be that you want to do all of those loops, but it will be that you will be able to take everything that you get or every service you offer and connect it to something else. Excited for the Polaris. Wondering what will fit in the hangar. I think they already did a thing where they figured out what can fit in the hangar of the Polaris. Like check that out. I think they're on Reddit. They figured that out already. Because that's how I found out the Vulcan will fit. And that's what I was most excited about. That's what actually tipped me over the scales to buy a Polaris. I wasn't going to buy one. And it's also the reason why I kept my Odyssey, even after they announced that it wasn't going to have the what do you call it? It wasn't going to allow you to use the mining thing as an actual mining arm. I still kept it because it can fit other ships in it. Yes, I do have some of my Star Citizen functions bound to the Stream Deck. And it's actually really cool to be able to like press a button to enter quantum and stuff like that. But I need to reset it. But this is part of the reason why I pulled back from playing Star Citizen so much is because when I'll play and I have all of these cool controllers and things like I have, and I'll spend like 3 or 4 hours setting them up exactly the way I want them, and then something will happen where they update the game or something, and then all my stuff is gone. And I've done that, mind you, for 7 years. I've been doing that. I've been resetting up my game. I've been resetting up all my controls, and I've saved the user file. I've saved the files. I've done it all, and then something else will break, and then my controller won't work because of some other weird thing that Star Citizen has going on. So I'm like, look, I'm done resetting up. If I hop in now, I'll play with a keyboard and a mouse, and I will just do that. And whatever, I'm not great at just using a keyboard and a mouse because I most of my time has been using dual sticks, but that's how I'm gonna play. That's how I'm gonna play Star Citizen until they get that stuff figured out, because I'm not putting in the effort and the time anymore to get my setup perfect just for it to like mess up because of some weird thing that's happening with Star Citizen. Let's see. Do I think the Polaris will be on sale at CitizenCon? Absolutely. Yes. I will be hijacking Jared's. Yes. That's exactly it. Yes. I'm coming for Jared's job, basically. Like, come on, just put me up there. No, I'm not. I wouldn't if CIG was like, "Hey, we'll hire you." They would have to pay me a bunch of money because, like I said, my current job, I make a decent amount of money. But they wouldn't be able to match what I make. They'd have to pay me a little bit more because I'd have to move. But I live close enough to Montreal to where that wouldn't be an issue. And I'm hoping actually the next CitizenCon I'm hoping that's in Montreal because that's the closest to where I live. But yeah, if they threw me a bone and were like, "Hey, you know, we want you on the team," I don't think they would like my salary offer though. Let's see. Oh, also, thanks for the props. Like, I appreciate every time you guys tell me that, like, one of my videos helped you out and everything, I'm just like, really? Like, I'm like, what? Like some stuff I said? Hey, camera, do you want to work right today? I don't know. I feel like I'm waving down somebody that's I'm waving down like a taxi or something. Um let's see. We do have a pic of the Kraken's bridge. Shows the captain's chair looking forward. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Let's see. Which do you prefer, the Perseus or the Polaris? I prefer the Polaris, but I also think that they're not necessarily meant to be compared, even though I did compare them. But I really, when I compare things, it's more so that you can make a choice for purchase, not because they're meant to be compared. Because a lot of times I think if you're min maxing, right, this is what we're talking about. If you're min maxing, right, I want to buy the best ship of the two, then I think the Polaris is better. But that may not be the best ship for you, because if you know that for a fact, like, I'm only going to play the game with 5 people, I know I don't like large ships, I'm never going to use the hangar, then like the Perseus is going to be better for you. But the Polaris, if I had to pick between the two, I'd pick the Polaris, but I have both in my fleet. I have both a Polaris and a Perseus, and I don't think either one of them is going anywhere because they both do serve a separate purpose. I think the Polaris is going to be your hunter ship, like I'm hunting capitals, whereas I think your Perseus is going to be your better defensive ship, like I'm supporting a capital or I'm defending another ship. But I don't know that for certain. I just think the hull of the Perseus will end up being super strong, and I think if I'm taking, like, if I can take 5 Perseus out, I'd rather take 5 Perseus out than 5 Polaris. But if I can only take 1 Polaris out, or one Perseus or 1 Polaris, I would take out the Polaris. I think when you're not sure and you're on the fence, which ship do you want to fly more? Which ship looks cooler to you? Which ship, has the killer feature? What gameplay are you most interested in? Use those things to drive you towards your purchase. I prefer to buy the larger ships. So if that's one of the key things for me, if I'm choosing between 2 ships and one of them is larger, I'll just get the larger one. Well, most of the time. The land claims, I think they're holding off on the land claims until they talk more about base building. I think they'll be featured at CitizenCon. Will the Polaris be on sale at CitizenCon? Yes. Let's see. Oh, we hit 5,000. Oh, hey, I didn't even catch it. Wow, man, 5,000. This wasn't supposed to be like a 5K stream. But it just became a 5K stream. Thanks, folks. That's awesome. When I started this YouTube channel, I thought it would take me way longer to get to 5,000. I thought I would be at like, I thought right now I would be sitting at 3,000. So 5,000 is absolutely insane. Thanks, you guys. This has been like a great experience. Like, I have people who are members of this channel who like don't mind like helping fund this channel and like help me to make more content, and it blows my mind. Like, I never expected that. I was just doing the things that all the YouTubers told me to do, like, oh, you gotta have memberships and you gotta have, like, I was just like, all right, cool, I'll put this in there. So yeah, I much appreciated. Thank you everybody who watches the videos, even people who comment on the videos, who like the videos, even if you just here for the ship giveaways. I don't care. Like, whatever, you're watching a video, you're engaging, and that's what it's all about. So thank you everybody. Let's see. What else we got? How do you feel about the FS9 mags being reduced to 75 rounds despite the mag saying 120 physically on the side? I didn't know that happened. It depends. If they make the bullets do more damage, I don't care that it has less rounds. Because that's what I care about. I care about the damage going down range. So if they're going to reduce the mag, then what I care about is how much damage it does. So like if for instance, if my DPS is 141 per second, then and they drop it to 75 and my DPS is still 141 per second, I don't care how many bullets it has. I would prefer to have more bullets, but that preference is because I'm a terrible shot, not because it deserves more bullets. But I'm only a terrible shot because I don't actually do that much FPS gameplay. I spend most of my time flying ships, but that's mainly because of the YouTube channel thing, you know, trying to make sure I fly these ships before I rate them and stuff. But once I've reviewed all the ships, I can get back to my FPS stuff. Get into Arena Commander and get some reps in and learn some tactics and stuff. I'm actually part of a org that does that. They do like training and stuff. They're very intense with it. They're pretty awesome though. But we'll see. Yes, 5K now. ERT are going to be wild once Polaris and Idris are kicking around. Absolutely. Thank you on the congrats. I'm not using voice attack. I do need to figure that out, but like I said earlier, like I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait before I start adding more stuff to the setup because I want Star Citizen to be a more consistent experience before I start adding stuff. Am I gonna do a backflip live for the 5K celebration? No, because if I did that, it would be a neck break live for the 5K celebration. I used to be able to do a backflip. I remember the first time I did a backflip. Somebody taught me, and it was one of those like core memory moments where somebody was teaching me how to do it, but then like the whole gym started paying attention because it was at a gymnastics gym, and then I did it, and then everybody was like, "Oh!" It was crazy. It was crazy, and that was the only one I ever did. But yeah, that was 10 years ago, so no. But keep asking, you know. Hey, maybe I'll get in better shape one of these days and do one. Star Citizen doesn't recognize device IDs. It registers USB ports. Yeah, yeah. That's probably the issue because I've went through set my settings up so many times it just bothered me. Do I think the Carrot could have tractor beams on the drones? Tractor beams on the drones? I think yes, but not tractor beams that could move like a cargo container. Just tractor beams that can move small parts. So like it would be you tractor beam out a fuse and put a fuse in, not like tractor beam around anything else. It would be like small parts just to do the repair. Yeah, hit me up on Discord with the voice attack thing. I probably won't use it anytime soon though, so don't be in a rush. Because I'm pulling away until they get some things right. But whenever you send it, I'll check it out. If you did not own both the Polaris and the Odyssey and you had to pick one, which would you pick? I'd pick the Polaris because then I'd just get a Carrack. There's no smaller version of the Polaris, but there is a smaller version of the Odyssey. It can't do exactly what the Odyssey can do, but it does enough to where I would be okay with getting a Carrack. But if I had to downgrade the Polaris to something else, losing that hanger, losing the internals of the Polaris, no, I wouldn't want to lose that. So do I like the Polaris more than the Odyssey? Yes. um, I do think Montreal for SitCon next year. You say Frankfurt? Okay, it could be Frankfurt too. I don't know if they've done one in Frankfurt. Either way, I'm probably gonna go. I think I'm gonna go to every Citizen Con starting. I think starting this year, I'm obviously gonna go, but I think in the future I'm gonna try to make it to every Citizen Con. We'll see if I actually can, but let's see what we got. Oh, I'm way back in the chat. I just realized I'm way back. I talk too much. I can do a front handspring. I can't do it in this office though. It looks a lot bigger than it is, but I hope you can see with all this screen tearing that this is just all green screen, you know? This will be going the way of the dodo once my camera's set up. No more of that. Which Connie do I recommend? The Taurus. The Taurus. The Andromeda is the better gunship. If you know that all you want to do is fight with it, then get the Andromeda. But the Taurus is the best Connie, easily the best Connie. I want the Phoenix because of this. I won't be using the Phoenix for a primary ship though. The Phoenix would be like my apartment in the sky. But you can buy a Phoenix in game, and I think that's what kind of made me melt mine because I was like, they're kind of easy to buy in game, so I'm not. Do I really need one? Like, I really wanted the Emerald skin because the Emerald skin is like my favorite skin. One of my favorite skins, probably my favorite skin. I do like the what is that black skin on the MSR? I think it's called it starts with an A. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like when you get the Mercury Night Runner skin, that thing. I like that skin too. The Taurus has the tractor beams too in really good places. Oh, I gave you a F8C ticket. Were you there when I dropped the other one, Mel? I literally had 4 tickets, and I was so ready to give them away, but then I accidentally hit the throw button instead of the sit button or something like that. And so I threw a ticket, and then it went and it disappeared through the floor, and I was like, and luckily I had 3 more to give away, but that was crazy. Yes, getting all 4 Connies is legit. Like, all 4 of them have their unique use. Like, I have no problems with anybody getting all 4 Connies. I actually cannot wait to review the Connie. I could use some advice. I'm enjoying making SC PvP content, and I'm trying to figure out what video format my shorts should use. I have examples on my channel. Hit me up on Discord. That's more of a like long form help thing. But yeah, I don't mind talking to you about that. Opinion on Medical Galaxy versus Apollo. I prefer the Apollo because you can switch them around. That was the only thing I didn't like about the Galaxy is that you can't switch them around. But I also think the Galaxy is already perfectly configured. So it's like a give and take there. The Galaxy, I think, has exactly the amount of beds that you should have. Whereas the Apollo, though, I would want tier 1 beds. I would just want tier 1, or what. Like, I like the ability to change it out. So, like, if I'm going and I know people are just going to go into, like, a bunker and they're not really going to be dying coming out of there, like, they're going to have people to pull them out, I'm probably not going to care too much about tier 1 injuries. So I'll probably go tier 2 and then tier 3s. Or one tier 1 and then a bunch of tier 3s, and like, you know, if you get a tier 2 injury, you'll just hop in the tier 1 bed. But the Galaxy being stuck the way it is good because if you know that you're gonna be like only doing medical gameplay, you pop that in there, that covers all your bases. So if I'm choosing between which one to get, I'm getting the Galaxy because it's modular. So 4 ships in 1. I love modular ships. I think the only time I've chosen a non-modular ship over a modular ship is the Carrack and the Odyssey, because the Odyssey has something very specific to what I need for the game. So that's the only reason I did that. But, and if the Carrack hadn't went up in price, I would also own a Carrack. But because I had one at 250, it feels really weird to get one at 600 right now. So, yeah. Let's see. Recently subscribed, Atomic Wrath. Thank you, thank you. Passing 5K is pretty crazy. I didn't think that was gonna happen for like a year. So I'm only 9 months in, I think. What am I? 10 months? I'm 10 months in. It'll be 10 months. No. It'll be 11 months on the 4th. Let's see. My friend gave me a ticket and I did the same thing. I threw it in the hanger corner and it was gone. Yep. That's what happens. Let's see. Shouldn't the pods on the bottom of the Carrack be modular? Yeah, they are. No, the pods on the Carrack are modular. I think that's all the questions. Anybody got some questions? I'll give like 1 more minute and then I'll probably just give some shotgun answers to those questions from before from the subscribers. Hey, Waikiki! I used to live in Hawaii. Waikiki Smoke. I used to live in Hawaii. I lived there for 3 years. It was awesome. I was on Oahu. Yeah, it was very fun. I learned how to surf. I only actually stood up one time, but that was all I needed. I surfed one time in my life. I actually rode a wave, that I can say. But yeah, it was very fun. What else we got? Let me go back. I'm gonna answer these questions, but real quick, I'm gonna go back and open up these questions from the members. There was only 3 of them though, so. When will the Zeus Mark II come out? I think it's gonna be done just before CitizenCon or during CitizenCon. So you got about 20 days. So Palin Tan asked these questions. Buying small ships, and then I went through and I named a bunch of ships. But I'm just gonna give you like my top 3. If I'm going snub, I'm gonna get either the Fury or the Razor EX. The snub, technically the true snub is the Fury, the base Fury. I would get that. If I'm looking for the more all-arounder, I would get the Razor EX. I think the Razor EX is the better of the two because it can do more, but it's not a true snub because it has a quantum drive. And then let's see. So that's my small. I do like the Talon though. I like the Talon. I really like it. Oh, I didn't do vehicles. Vehicle, I would get the X1 Force because it's the only one with the shield. So I'm just saying, if I'm gonna buy a hover bike, it's gonna be the X1 Force because shield, and weapon, shield and weapon. If outside of that, the Ursa Medevac. Let's see, size 2 ships. Let's see, Avenger Titan. Avenger Titan is a starter ship, so if you're just getting a starter ship, I would pick up an Avenger Titan. The cutter, of course. I think the cutter, the base cutter, I'd probably get just because it's not worth buying anything. I think more expensive than that, generally. If I'm spending money, I did purchase the F7 II to get the F7C Mark II to get the F7A. I think the F7A is worth the money. If you got the F7A. The F7C Mark II? No. But if you bought the F7C Mark II just to get the F7A, I think that will get balanced into greatness. I don't think it's currently there, but I think it will get balanced into greatness at some point. And I also think it'll be pretty rare. I don't know if they'll do that mission again, but even if they do, I still think it's worth it. The Gladius starter ship, if you got that in a starter pack, Hawk starter pack, a lot of the size 2 ships came in starter pack, so if you got any of that, Nomad starter pack, you know, great. Prospector is worth a buy, but I think you should go bigger. So, you know, it's up to you. The Terrapin, I love the Terrapin, but it's probably not worth the buy. $220. No, it's not worth it. The Vulture, that's the one. That's the one I forgot. The Vulture. Vulture is worth it. The Vulture, I don't care what anybody says. The Vulture is worth the money. If that's the only ship you earn in the game, that's the only ship you start out with, I think you'd be fine. Yeah, I think you'd be fine with that. Size 3 ships, I'm gonna go, C1, Cutlass Black, Freelancer Max, Mole, and Vanguard Harbinger. There you go. When you get bigger than that, I don't think that fits the question anymore, because now we're getting into large ships. But yeah, I think that should be enough to answer that question. The other question was a set of ironclads with top doors open with 4 8 atlases. How fast do you think you can rescue the cargo off of a disabled hull C? I don't think it would be very fast unless you had the base ironclad, because then you'd have 7 tractor beams working. But at the same time, I don't think the Atlas is the best for the base ironclad. I would probably take MPUVs, especially to take stuff off of a hull C. I guess you could move the ship around so that the Atlases could access all the cargo, though. And then the Liberator versus Ironclad. While the specific comparison is pretty straightforward, explore the reason for the battle. I did the Ironclad versus the Liberator, and I want everybody to know this, and I said this in a previous video. I think that when I do ship battles, it's not which ship is better, so much as if you have to purchase one, which one do I think you should purchase between the two? So one is more valuable to me, not necessarily the better ship. So when I said, I think I said, you know, I say this now just to mess with people, but the Odyssey, I said the Odyssey is the carrot killer, right? But I really was just saying that you don't need both. You can have either one. But yeah, so every time I say that, I think, you know, what was his name? Paul Jones. I think Paul Jones, you know, cries a small tear every time I say it. But yeah, I think when I compare ships, I'm not comparing them to say this ship is better. I'm saying this ship is more valuable. This is the ship that I would spend money on rather than the other one. So with the Liberator and the Ironclad, the Liberator is more of a shipping ship. It's the ship that you put other ships on and you go. And it's also a mobile base. So it's a great place to, you know, put whatever cool things you want to do. You land them on there, you live inside it, whatever. However, I don't think it will be like a fun place to live on because it's an anvil ship. So they're not known for like necessarily having great amenities unless you're in a Carrack. So there's that. Whereas the Ironclad is a Drake ship, so even less amenities. But the Ironclad is also, you know, more meant to just, like most of the ship is just its cargo capacity. And it has a higher cargo capacity at that. So I think if you want to move cargo, you get the Ironclad. If you want to move ships, you get the Liberator. If you want a mobile base, you get the Liberator. If you want, you know, a pirate, you know, packing ship, then you get the Ironclad. And I went for the Ironclad Assault because it has a garage in it, and that I think is going to end up being way more useful than an extra 400 SCU of cargo and some tractor beams. That's all the member questions. So I'm going back up here to answer whatever questions you guys have, and then I think we'll end it. Once review of all ships are all done, start doing best ships for the gameplay loops. Ooh, I like that. I like that. I have this thing where I'm doing use case. I started a while back, but I haven't finished it. So I'm going to go and I'm going to kind of do ships where I talk about the best use case for each ship. So that might cover what you're saying. Because when I do a use case video, I'm taking myself out of the numbers, and I'm like, what do I actually use this for in the game? What do I think people should use this for in the game? So if you watch my reviews, it's kind of that last part where I say I imagine using this for, and then I go off on this tangent. That's what that part of the video is, but I'm going to take that and expand it. And those are what my use case videos are. So if you go and check out my use case series, I think that's kind of what you're looking for. This video, if you found this late, it will be available afterwards. The whole stream should be available. It was only supposed to be a 1 hour stream, but because we had technical issues, I went and overdid it. The rest of these will be an hour though. I'm not going to keep doing that. But I'm hoping that the next one on Monday, no, I'm not going to have all my camera stuff by Monday. But I might be able to set something up if I have my tripod. But I don't think I have my tripod. So I was hoping that the Monday stream would be the first like cool camera stream, but we might have to wait until a later date, maybe next week, next Saturday. By the way, next Saturday's stream is probably going to be 7:30, 7:45, something like that. 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. is a little late, so it'll probably be like 7:30 that I do those. Let's see. Yes. So, yes, the audio's messed up. I talked about that earlier in the video. I will do some work on that and try to figure out what that issue is, and see if I can fix that. I'm sure it's something with OBS. Twitch is apparently better for streaming. Yeah, folks, like I like doing this on the dual stream, but it was really difficult to set up. I thought it was going to be much easier to set up a dual stream, but it's not. There's a whole lot of, knobs to turn, so to speak. But yes, if you can watch on Twitch, you're probably going to have a better experience watching on Twitch. If you prefer YouTube, stay on YouTube. I'm going to give equal attention to both. I think my chat though is only showing Twitch, which is weird. It's supposed to show both of them in my OBS, but again, more things I have to work out. But yeah, I think we have like a few more questions, and then it'll be we'll be popping out of here. Let's see. Feather the Void. Okay, let's see. Galaxy has all those tier beds, but can also carry a Nursa and the C8R. Apollo can't. That is correct. The Galaxy is the better. It's already equipped with everything it needs. That's why I like the Galaxy. If I had to pick between the Galaxy and the Apollo, and I could only have one, I would get the Galaxy. I do think the Apollo's ability to switch out its beds, though, is better. Because it's the same way you'd have to kit out any other ship. You would kit out your Apollo for the mission that you're going on. So, put the amount of beds in, the type of beds in that you think are best for that mission. Assuming it doesn't take forever to change those out. And the Apollo, I think the loadout was you can have one tier 1. No, you could have 2 tier 2s. Or you could have 3 tier 3s. Or was it 4 tier 3s? I think it might have been 4 tier 3s. No, 4 tier 2s. Wait, I might have this wrong. No, 2 tier 2s. I feel like I'm figuring it out as I go. I can just look it up. It's not that serious. Why did I do that? I could have just, hey, internet, use. All right, so let's see. So you can have 2 tier 1s, 4 tier 2s, or 6 tier 3s. So basically, every 3 tier 3s equals, no, that's not right. No, because you can have 4 tier 2s. Yeah. So 2 tier 1s, or 4 tier 2s, or 6 tier 3s. I would mostly be in the tier 1. I would have 1 tier 1 and then 2 tier 2s, I think. Yeah, I think that's probably how I would run it. Cuz tier 3 beds they're kind of useless. Most people can bring a tier 3 bed with them. So, I don't think I would ever really run tier 3s unless I knew for a fact that like I was going someplace where I just needed a lot of beds. But here's the thing. I have an Endeavor, so if I knew I needed somewhere and I needed a bunch of beds, I'd probably take the Endeavor, or I would take the Galaxy because the Galaxy has more beds. So I feel like I would in the Apollo. Most people who are trying to get on that Apollo, I think, are going to need tier 1 support. Tier 2's great, but tier 1 support I think is what most people are going to need if they're trying to get to an Apollo. So I think I would have the tier 1. I think if you're not running a tier 1 on your Apollo, you're gonna struggle. You need at least 1 tier 1, and then whatever else you run is whatever. But you need at least 1 tier 1. Let's see. Shouldn't the pods on the bottom? Oh, we already answered that. Let's see. Ads on Twitch, no ads on YouTube. You know, I respect it. I respect it. I'm not a huge fan, but the ads are what pays us. I've heard that from others that getting YouTube to sync can be a huge problem. So we're gonna tackle it. We might get trucked as we try to tackle it, but it will be what happens. They removed small weapon compartment loadouts to be persistent. It would make logging in and going much better. Kitting up ships for what you prefer. Yes, I need to just be able, like, I need what they actually showed us in that video. You remember when they showed us hangars, and it was like you could like meticulously set up all your gear on the tables and then just kind of walk up, grab what you needed, and go. If they did that, I'd be fine. I don't need to keep it in the ship. I just need to be able to like lay it out on the table and be like, this is my bunker table. This is my like minimum amount, you know, table. Like this is my the minimum kit I would take anywhere type of table, you know. That's what I need. But yes, I do want them to fix the ships to where they are more persistent with the stuff you keep in them. Let's see. Yeah, I stayed on. Josh Jones, glad you made it. I stayed on longer because I had some technical issues. Yes, you can set up the boxes. You can set up the boxes and grab the box. But yeah, I'm about to hop off though. So sorry. If you got a question, Josh Jones, ask it in the next 15 seconds and I will answer it. But otherwise, I think it might be time for me to hop off. I've been on way too long already. I did 30 minutes and then I got back on once the stream got fixed, which it was showing private and now it's public. And then I couldn't get the video to turn on because you have to turn on YouTube first before you turn on Twitch. And I know that now. Next, we're handling the audio issue. But yeah. So if there's no more questions, then I will be taking my leave. Thank you all for watching this first stream. Thanks for everybody who who came back, even though the stream technically started like 30 minutes late. Like the video, leave your comments. We haven't given away that ship yet, so you still got a chance. Leave comments on as many videos as you want, and like or dislike, do all that stuff. Babies come from storks, just so you know. Cracking over Idris, because I like utility over firepower. Yeah, I could quick shot those questions. I've done the research. I know what I like. But yeah, thanks everybody. This is awesome. I can't wait to start doing this every few days. You know, so we're gonna do Monday at 12, Wednesday at 4, I believe. And then I put all this on the community page, so if I'm wrong, go check that. But it should be Monday at 12, Wednesday at 4, and then Saturday at 7, somewhere between 7:30 and 8:30. You know, I'll always put it out before the day before, just so everybody knows. But it should be 7:30. Should be the start time. But yeah, thanks for hanging out and dealing with my weird green screen issues and all of that stuff. Yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.